So I guess YouTube didn't like what I was saying because I got the same intro that I always had that I've been posting on here on all my videos. So they just ended my live for some reason, but it's cool because I'm gonna challenge it anyway, and I'm gonna probably have to edit this video when I put it on YouTube to put everything back up there. Um, Last time I was on Instagram and they took one of my videos down, I challenged it, and guess what? They put it right back up in like 3 or 4 days. But you know, that's why they got them jokers testifying in front of Congress right now. That's why they got them jokers testifying up there about the freedom of speech and violating freedom of speech. Hey, as you can tell, the kids think they run the show again. But um, again, we talking about the most endangered species on Earth, the black man. So if you look at black people in every country around the world, okay, black people in every country, even their home country. Stop. Black people in every country, even their home country, are treated um, with a lack of respect, um, um, a lack of grace, and they're not giving the same. What is it? Oh, so I'm checking the email. So I got emails from people. Hold on for a minute, y'all. So they're not treated with the same delicacy as they treat people of other races with. Now, that has been proven, especially in America, where black people are killed every day. They're accused of crimes. They're not given due process. They're presumed guilty until they actually prove their innocence. And it's supposed to be you're innocent until proven guilty. Um, and a lot of people sit around and they talk about whether black people are treated right or wrong, or black people the enemy, or black people the cause of their own demise. And my thing is, black people can't be the cause of their own demise because the um we don't have the assets to change somebody else's life. We don't have the assets as a people to be racist towards somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people look at racism as how you feel or whatever the case. That's not really racism. Racism is forcing your will upon somebody else because of their ethnicity and not caring, to me. Having the financial backing to do it. Yeah, Soul Line, we are the product of an environment we was put in. But now stop. My whole goal in life, and it didn't hit me till the other day, right? I got a frat brother that I kind of aided in his crossing process, and his name is Byron. So this is a book that Byron wrote right here. So I got this book. I ordered it from Amazon. This book is on Amazon. I suggest anybody that knows Byron, anybody that went to Alameda State University, anybody that's an iota, anybody that's in a fraternal organization, no matter whether it's in the Divine Nine or not, I suggest you pick up this book. This book is less than a drink at the club. You hear me? This book is less than a drink at the club. This book, okay? But you never know how you can touch somebody's life. You understand what I'm saying? Like, for a long time, and I'm saying for a long time, but it wasn't a really long time because I've been knowing Byron since he decided to become an iota. But um, in retrospect, sometimes we look at people and we think these people don't like us. I've never disliked Byron or anything like that, and I don't think Byron ever disliked me. It's just that my way of working through things is different from what Byron is used to. But I always question whether I was doing the right thing, whether I was in IOTA, whether it was when I was in the Marine Corps, whether it was when I was in college, whether it was when I was in high school. I mean, sometimes I question some of the decisions I make even as a father. But Byron put me in his book, okay? And this is what I want to say. When I read what Byron put, and by the way, Byron, you know I got this book the other day, and I told you when I got it, I've actually read this whole book already. But Byron put me in this book, and I appreciate him putting me in this book because it tells me that even though I can be controversial at times, I do have the ability to touch and change and help people to mature or to change their way of thinking or their thought process a little bit. And I'm gonna read something to you all. So now I'm not the only person in this book from my fraternity. Okay, there are other guys in this fraternity from my chapter that are in this book. Abdul, Octavian, Michael Roberson, who is the state director when we pretty much came through IOTA. But Byron wrote this book, and I'm gonna read to you all how he described me in the book. Okay, and I've never thought of myself, but this is an outside looking in type of situation. So when I read it, I was so impressed. Like these to me, they always say, give your people their roses before they die. Give your people their kudos before they die. And I appreciate what Byron did because he didn't have to do it. So in Byron's book, he says, we were guided into the process of IOTA land by Octavian as the Dean of Pledges and Hassan, who is the Assistant Dean of Pledges, who's also served as the grad advisor of the chapter. Now, Octavian is another guy that I aided in the process of crossing. And my name, my real name, everybody know my name's Hassan, but everybody call me Shaka Zulu because that's my line name. That's where Zulu After Dark came from. So Byron goes on. Now, immediately after he describes what became the two people who led him through the process of becoming IOTA, he goes directly into describing me, which was kind of ironic because Octavian was his dean. I was assistant to the dean, which when Tay had stuff to do, I helped him out. Whether it was minimum, whether it was a lot, it's part of the process. You're a whole team to get it done. So I feel like it was a team process. So Byron says her son was like a legend already in the fraternity. He was responsible for bringing in numerous amounts of brothers from the universities that made up the Gulf Coast region of Iota Phi Theta. It's often said that you could not pledge in the region without having met her son at least once while you were online. He was not only the graduate advisor of the chapter, but he also helped reinstate other chapters back into active status at different schools as well. For those who didn't know him, so this where what's up. So this where he goes into describing me, which was kind of ironic. He put for those who didn't know him, they would describe Hassan as a mean and demanding spirit when it came to IOTA. He joined the Marines a few years before I came to Albany State. Once he returned to Georgia, he didn't mind being considered the aggressive, headstrong force that people warned potential brothers to stay away from. It wasn't until I truly got to know Hassan, likely crossing into the brotherhood, that you realize that he had to be that way to weed out people who may not have been willing to put in the real work that the organization needed, and so on and so forth. Then he go into talking about the bylaws and the people I know. But this is the thing. I never thought Byron would be the person. Stop. I never thought Byron would be the person to actually put that in a book. You know what I mean? I never thought that Byron would be the person. And in my eyes, it's like, wow, somebody that is totally different from me. And there are things in the book about him when he wanted to be a Crip and how IOTA saved him and how the person who inspired him to do IOTA, it's a lot. But the way he described me in the book is what I'm getting to. Sometimes as black men, we don't give each other our kudos before we die. You know what I mean? Everybody got something nice to say about you at your funeral, but not while you're alive. So I want to thank Byron for putting me in his book. Byron is one of the most inspiring people I ever met. When he was in the organization, he was the only active brother on the campus. He won the state championship step show. He won the homecoming step show. It's a lot of things he did that were a first in our particular chapter. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up because black men, even the ones that strive to do right, the ones that strive to do better, the ones that strive to raise their children to ascend them to greatness, or what we consider greatness, are still not seen as the same. Key point. I made a statement on my Instagram. Now, this statement was based off of another show that I watched by a brother named Young Pharaoh. And they were talking about the standards of beauty in black women. And I stated that the statement said, why do black women get mad when black men date people outside of their race, when the black woman's the average black woman's standard of beauty is not that of blackness? You see what I'm saying? So the people who come in it, some of them, the ones that answered the question were mostly, they were guys, just be honest with it. And the women that did answer the question never answered the question. Some of them agreed with it, others directly got into their feelings. But never once did they answer the question. Never once did they answer why women of color, particularly black women, get mad at men when they get money and they go date people outside their race. They're not even looking at the fact that if you look at the standard of beauty, the models, everything we know, the things that they use in the videos, it's not that of a goddess that's a black woman. A lot of times these women are fake, made up. They're stop. They're not the same standard as the women we see every day that are black. You know what I mean? And, I grew up in a household where, my sister them couldn't get perms. My sister them couldn't wear weaves or wigs or none of that stuff. Now, I do understand that there is a lane for that. There is a lane for that. But the lane for that is not the standard of beauty amongst our women. You understand what I'm saying? All our women sit back and complain about black men. I want a strong black man. I want a man that can defend me. I want a man that can stick up for me, this and that. And stop. Hold on for a minute, y'all. Sorry about that. I'm doing triple duties. But they complain about the standard of black men. Now, in my experience, and this is just me, I can't speak for everybody. A large majority of my friends grew up in a household with just their mom or their grandmother or their auntie or their older sister, okay? Somebody who helped raise them or some other woman. Now, those friends of mine who grew up with their fathers, and I'm not going to say every father is a good father because they're not, but every dude I know who grew up in a house with his father or his uncle or his granddad is different. They're not like the other dudes out there. They don't get as emotional. You know what I mean? They don't get flustered by situations where a rational man would make a rational decision and his decision would not be based on emotion. Those kind of men are few far and in between, especially in the black community. But when there are those men out there, you're right. So, but when there are those men out there, we have to fight with our women about how to be a man. And the reason that is because most women, in my opinion, raise boys to be the type of men they like. They don't raise boys to be men. That's the difference. A lot of people get out here and down talk black men and say, well, black men won't get a job, or black men won't do this, or black men won't take care of their kids, or black men. Yo, think about it. If you look at these men that you're talking about, these men are boys in grown bodies. Not only are they boys in grown bodies, they're boys in grown bodies that have been raised to be emotional men based on the way they grew up around their mother. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of it has to do with the slave mentality. For so long, women were taught to teach your sons to be submissive. If not, we will kill them. That's just what it is. The police will kill them. The school will get them into the prison, the school to prison pipeline. You understand? And even when they get out there at a job where they can be right, where they can be playing by the rules, and they can be using the rules to mandate and enforce that their managers and the company they work with is doing right, the company will get rid of that guy. They don't want that guy. They don't want that guy that follow the rules and make sure everybody around him follow the rules. They want the guy that they can enforce their will upon, and he'll be submissive, and he won't say, you're wrong. He'll say, hey, look, man, don't muddy the water. You're going to make it bad for all of us. That's the guy they want. You understand? So when it comes to just simple things like the right to bear arms, you understand? And most black people don't even understand this type of language. They don't even understand what I'm about to say. If you put someone in office that has already told you, I'm going to take your firearms, how can you expect, you cannot fight the American government in court. Almost every politician that I've seen has a degree in law or some kind of law or some kind of community organization or whatever. These people know the rules. They know how to bend the rules. They know how to play in the gray area. I see it, mama. I see it. Here you go. These people know how to bend and play within the gray area of the rule. And because we don't read, because we don't know the rules, we sit back and we get screwed over. And not only do we get screwed over, the women that are supposed to have our back allow us to get screwed over, because 90% of the time we're in the system because of a woman. Period. Most men that are African American, Social Security number was given to the Department of Family and Children's Services by a woman, whether it was their mother, whether it was their auntie, their grandmother, their girlfriend, their baby mama, whoever. Hold on. Most of those Social Security numbers, because be honest, how many men right now, and a lot of people going to look at this podcast after the fact and send me emails and all that stuff like y'all always do. Y'all know the email address, zuluafterdark@gmail.com. You can DM me or whatever. Understand this. The reality is that a lot of women put us in the system, and once we get in the system, there's nothing to fix it. There's nothing that can fix it. You understand? And a lot of times we sit back because we try to be democratic. That's what I want to call it, democratic. We try to sit back and play a role that we really aren't. Stop, mama. Just like Democrats. Democrats play a role during election, and once they get our vote, they turn into exactly who they've always been and exactly who we know they are. You see what I'm saying? So if you look at the demographics of households in the black community, historically, when black men were in the house, the black families were stronger. The kids were smarter. They were more respectful of their mothers. They was more respectful of their grandmothers, everybody around them. You didn't have to tell a little boy 2 or 3 times to go empty the trash or nothing like that. You didn't have to tell them several times to do something or several times how you wanted something done. And The reality is, over time, our family structure was taken by Caucasians and embraced while they tore down our family structures, why they made rules and laws and programs to keep the black men out of the household with the black women. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot of people out here now. The protests that they're doing at Gresham Road and Flat Shoals Road at their Exxon. A lot of people ask me, well, Zulu, why you da 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 da? I thought you didn't peacefully protest. And I don't. I don't. I don't peacefully protest for anything that can't make change. And when I say change, I mean something that's valuable that can be done without us going out to vote, without us going out and kissing somebody's butt. Protesting a business that treat the people in the community like crap can cause a change instantly. Because if you don't patronize that business is going to lose money. If they lose money, they're going to have to either sell or change the way they do things. I prefer them to sell. Because I feel like if they change the way they do things, it's only going to be for a limited time. And that limited time ain't going to make change in that neighborhood. What makes change is for you to get them out your neighborhood. Now, controversial to what a lot of people may say or they may think, the Department of Family and Crumbling Systems, a.k.a. DFATS, no. It ain't even that, Soul Lion. It's the Department of Screw Your Family and Screw Your Legacies. Because when they get in your business and put your children in all these group homes and stuff like that, that's where these kids learn criminal behavior. When they actually remove the man out the house, you know what I mean? Some criminal behavior do start with the man in the house. Don't get me wrong. But for men that really want to be there for their children, it ain't no criminal behavior in the home while they're there. The criminal behavior starts when the mother has to make adjustments to her work schedule and things like that to try to get home for the kids. And then when she can't because she got to provide for the kids, one of the kids has to stand up and be the man of the house while the mother's not there. And that man of the house going to do whatever it takes to look out for his mom, whether it's sell drugs, whether it's go work a job at 14 and not go to school or sleep late and be late for school, whatever the case may be. Okay? So, I mean, I did a whole week about the demasculation and feminization and crumbling of the black man. You know what I mean? I went through everything. And a lot of people hit me up on that and say, oh, man, you were so on point and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, that's cool. But go to my YouTube and subscribe because I'm finna start going harder because on YouTube, I can say stuff that I can't say on Instagram. The YouTube is Zulu After Dark Podcast. All you got to do is go and subscribe. I'm going to be moving all these videos over. And eventually, I'm not going to even be doing videos on Instagram. I'm just using Instagram as a promo to get people to my YouTube. But at the same time, I want y'all to understand there are certain things and certain rights that everybody got that people don't know because they don't study. They don't think about studying. See what I'm saying? So what I decided to do over the next 4 to 5 weeks going into the new year, I'm going to have more than one show. This show is going to always be my main show, okay? This is going to be the Zulu After Dark Podcast show where I talk about issues in the black community, especially affecting black men. Now, what inspired my second show was one of my young guys that I've been knowing since he was 14 that I play video games with. Now he's in his 20s and he's an excellent guy. He's a good rapper. He wants to do a show because he has a podcast based on hip-hop things, but those things are important to him. But, you know, real talk about real things in our community is also important to him. And since he knows me and he knows my show, he want to kind of come up with a podcast for that where, you know, a younger guy in the black community in his 20s and me being 38 can come together and show people that we're not generationally different. You know what I mean? I still love rap music. I still love some of the things he likes. He likes some of the stuff I like because he grew up on it because he got older parents. But we're going to try to merge that gap and try to do that. My third show is going to be a show that I'm going to be doing where I talk about the books that I read. And the reason I decided to do that is because I read books a lot. People don't think I read books a lot till they get around me, and I start spinning what they call useless information, and that useless information educate them on a level they never been educated before. But that didn't start now. That didn't start in high school. That didn't start in the Marine Corps. That started in my house with my mom and my dad. And during the summer when my friends was out playing baseball and stuff, my dad required us to read a book every day. See what I'm saying? He required us to write a book report so he know we read the book. You see what I'm saying? My mother and my grandmother made us read the Bible. You see what I'm saying? Not only read the Bible, but understand the Bible. I've been to mosque. I've been to see the Farrakhan speak. I've been to see Elijah Muhammad speak when I was a kid, because that's what my pop was on. I've read the Quran. You see what I'm saying? These are things that people don't do because it's not in their religion. It's not in their scope. You know, these are things that you don't learn living with a woman, to me. And the reason why, because most women only promote what they do, what they like, how they like things. You see what I'm saying? And men can't be like that. We got to think on both sides. Everybody got mad at me about the election. You know what I mean? Both of them jokers is bums. Trump and Joe Biden. Kamala Harris running around masquerading as a black woman, and every black woman in America's allowing it. Period. I said it, and I ain't taking it back, and I stand on it. You understand what I'm saying? I stand on what I said. A lot of black women are allowing Kamala Harris to run around in black, and hey, I stand on what I said, period. Crickets for what they talking about. I don't care nothing about none of that, because the reality of it is that Kamala Harris, when she became the DA of San Francisco and when she became a senator, was listed as the first Indian DA female ever in history, or the first Indian senator in history. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not letting nobody get away with that. But as a black man, you got to diversify and learn everything that everybody around you knows. And you listen, you have to change your friends. You have to change the scope of the people around you. You see what I'm saying? Because the people around you can only do two things. They can bring you down or propel you upward. You see what I'm saying? And if they're not doing neither one of those things, that means you're pushing them down or propelling them upward. See what I'm saying? And I have no problem with pushing somebody upward, but what I won't do is allow you to push me down. So with that being said, this brother right here, I suggest, instead of y'all buying video games for Christmas and all this other bull crap, this book is $7.95. I've read this book 4 times since I got it. This book is Danny Dollar, the Millionaire, the Lemonade Escapade. And what this book talks about is financially opening your children's mind. It opens their mind to financial things that I didn't learn growing up. I didn't know what a stock was growing up. I didn't know what a bond was growing up until I became an adult and I did my own research. And I'm not going to say my mother and father didn't know, because my mother and father are pretty smart. My mom used to work for the IRS. My dad worked for the post office. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say they didn't know, but I don't know if they knew how to explain it to me as a kid. And to be honest, I don't know how to explain financial things to my kids as an adult to make them understand it on the kid level. Guess what? Bow. Right there. Right there. Right there, y'all. And guess what? I got multiple copies of this book. I got multiple copies of the workbook coming from Ty Allen, the guy that wrote this book. Okay? And I'm going to be giving away 2 of these books. I'm not going to give away the workbook. I can lead you to the water, but I can't make you drink. If you got a kid, a nephew, a grandson, or somebody like that, and there's a lot of y'all out there that play the stock market. It's a lot of y'all out there that buy stocks and bonds, but you don't understand how to explain this to a kid. This book is $7.95. Less than a drink. Less than a 6-pack. You understand? less than a meal at McDonald's if you get a real meal. So, starting today on December the I don't have my let me see calendar. Let me see. Whatever the Wednesday is, the week of the 15th of December, that Wednesday, I'm going to announce the winner, okay? And on every show up until December, I'm going to be telling y'all, email me to try to win a copy of this book. If you don't want it, don't worry about it. I got children that, hey, I bought a copy for each one of my children, and I bought a workbook for each one of my children, okay? So that's what I'm on. That's what I'm on. What's up, ATM? That's what I'm on. So I'm going to be giving away 2 copies of this book. 2 copies. I already got the 2 copies from Amazon because I ordered them through Amazon because they came faster, but I couldn't get the workbook unless I went to his actual website. And I follow this guy on Instagram, and I watch his videos. I watch when he go live. This is a smart brother. A smart brother. He wrote this book to open the eyes of children when it comes to financially freedom to create millionaires instead of factory workers. So I'm going to be giving away 2 copies of this book, okay? You have to subscribe to my YouTube, and you have to follow me on IG. And I'm going to be telling y'all every week the same thing. And the week, I ain't going to even tell y'all which week I'm going to release I'm going to tell you the name of the winner the week of December the 15th. But I'm not going to tell y'all what day I'm going to release the code word. So what I'm going to do on all my podcasts that I'm doing on this site, I'm going to give you a word that's going to come. It's going to be one word of a sentence. And once you get all the words, you send me an email with that sentence, and you going to win a book for whoever you want to give it to. You going to win a book to give to your son, your daughter, your nephew, your niece, your granddaughter, your grandson. I got 2 of these to give away, period. I'm also going to hit the brother up and buy a shirt from him because I believe in supporting black business. See what I'm saying? And I want to also hip y'all on something else. If you go to YouTube, well, actually, let me go to my email because on my email, I already ordered this for my kids. And I'm going to put some game on y'all. See, y'all didn't even realize what's going on out here. It's a lot of people out here that got their kids worshiping, and they don't even know their kids worshiping. But your kids out here, black people, worshiping white superheroes. I said it, and I ain't taking it back. They worshiping white superheroes because they don't see themselves in the cartoons and the Marvel stuff that they watch. Other than Miles Morales, and Miles Morales done changed the game, him and Black Panther, but Miles Morales changed the game because he's a young kid that listen to hip hop, and all the kids love him. But what y'all don't realize, let me go down here. Where it's at? If you go to YouTube and look up Black Sands Entertainment, Black Sands Entertainment has cartoons with little black kids in what would be considered Egypt back in the day, and these kids have fathers that are pharaohs, mothers that are queens, goddesses with powers, and these kids have powers, and they grow up learning to love themselves, learning to love their hair, love their culture, listen, I can't say enough about this cartoon. I like this cartoon so much that even after I watch every episode on YouTube, I just went and bought the DVDs for my son. And I'm going to tell you why I bought the DVDs for my son. My son watches all kind of cartoons, and he likes the cartoons he watches. He watches them over and over and over and over and over and over again. Now, if I can get my son to understand this first, this right here, work through the workbook and understand it. I got it, mama. Here you can get the book. There, sit down. But if I can get him to understand that, then I can get him looking at cartoons where it's a mother and a father that are black. that love their kids. But not only is it just a cartoon, these kids are superheroes in their country. See what I'm saying? You got to build a foundation of a kid to make him do better in life later. You can't give him the same thing that you got. Even if what you got was good, you got to give him something better. See what I'm saying? The children that are growing up now don't want to work for nobody. If you look at it, if you look at the people between the ages of 16 and 25, they're creating their own businesses. My daughter paints, and I buy her paintings, and other people buy her paintings. But that is a field she can go into and never have to work for nobody else if she starts building her brand now. See what I'm saying? And that's what I'm here to do. Help my daughter build her brand so that she don't have to work for somebody. Help my son build his brand when he get ready. Help my other kids build their brands when they get ready. Or either I can build a brand where my kids can come and work directly for me. See what I'm saying? My daughter can go to school and be a mass communication major and become the producer for my show. You see what I'm saying? We got to stop thinking inside the box, because we didn't put ourselves in the box. We were put into the box with the situation that we're in now in America. See what I'm saying? So I'm going to be giving away one of two of the books. Danny Dollar, my mom, give me the book. Give me the book. I'm going to be giving away two of these books. That's all I'm going to give away. Now, you can go to his website and you can buy the book, or you can go online to Amazon and buy the book. If you go to www.dannydollar.com, that's where these books are. But I actually bought my books from Ty Allen. Let me get y'all the website, because I'm in my email now looking at everything. But I bought mine from his actual website, which is, well, his email is ty@bigheadbooks.com. But if you look him up, it'll lead you to his website where I ordered the books at. I don't have it right now because it's not coming up on the email. But listen, everything professional, nice book, laminated good. And understand this. This is the crazy thing, right? This is crazy. This book is 102 pages. 102 pages. It's nicely illustrated. And the guy's a brother. You know what I mean? So when people tell me they read the Vogue magazine and all this other stuff, a lot of this stuff is not even by us, for us. See what I'm saying? So we got to get out of the rat race. And the only way to get out of the rat race is to start educating our kids before they go to school. Because if you let the school educate them, they're going to be lost. Okay? So build up your kids with real knowledge, real education. You understand what I'm saying? And understand the fact that just because somebody else tells you something isn't so, don't mean it ain't. And what I say by that is, they'll sit here and tell you, well, black men aren't the most hunted down by the police. But black neighborhoods have 10 times as many police as white neighborhoods. And you can say because that's where the crime at, but the crime wouldn't be there if they didn't pump the drugs and the alcohol and the drugs, the alcohol, and if they didn't promote democratic offices. And when I say democratic offices, I'm talking about programs like food stamp, Medicaid, and TANF. Now, even though black people are not the number one recipient of these programs, guess what? They advertise it like we are. They try to make it seem like black people are the number one recipients of all these programs they come up with. We're not the number one. We only make up 13% of America, okay? So if we only make up 13% of America, and there are hundreds of thousands of people in these programs, if you actually take hey, stop. If you actually take 13% of the people in that means like pretty much 1 out of every 100 people in the program is black. Who are the other 77%? Hold on, y'all. So hold on, y'all. So this what happened when one of my children have a toy and the other one won't it. She get mad and try to fight him over it. So my thing is sometimes we gotta stop allowing people to tell us how to run our household, how to run our neighborhoods, how to run our businesses. They even tell you how to run your business. What you can do, what you can't do. Just a second ago, the same intro that I've been playing for the last what 20 shows, they kicked it off offline again. Even though I already challenged it with Instagram, and they said there was no fault in it because guess what? It is what it is. Nobody owns it. And the person who did it for me, he actually already owns the beat. So black men, but the other thing is black men gotta stop being crabs in a barrel. And we gotta stop acting like when we see one person coming up or doing good or prospering, that we gotta bring them down. You know what I mean? We don't have to do that to each other. We don't have to do it, but we choose to, but we don't have to. See what I'm saying? Like a key example is something that I was telling somebody today. Why is it that on the versus battles, it's always black against black? Why is it that it's hip hop artists against hip hop artists, R&B artists against R&B artists? Why can't those two artists get together and do a live concert for $5 or $10 a piece and just make money? Why is it that we got to challenge each other to see who the best, who has the better catalog of music? It doesn't matter at this point. The music has been out there for years. The music has been out there for years, but they want us to be against each other. That's why they come up with stuff like the versus battle. See what I'm saying? Why would you, as an artist, want to challenge whether your music is better than another artist if you've already made millions off of it? What does it matter if Monica and Brandy music is not, they're not the same person? But our community is so used to challenging each other. Our community is so used to challenging each other instead of getting together. Like, I wouldn't go back and forth and argue with somebody on their podcast about which one of our podcasts is better. Hell, we both got podcasts, and they're on different levels because we talk about different things. I see it, mama. The other thing is, I want to say something because I follow a lot of people, and I don't have to agree with everything somebody says or does. But to the suckers that went out there and busted that lady's yoga studio out because they hate Dr. Umar Johnson, y'all some suckers, bro. And I don't think Dr. Umar is the type of guy that'll do something like that just to get likes on videos. You see what I'm saying? Why would you go out and bust out somebody's business because the person that's speaking there, you don't like them? You know what I mean? Why? What? Okay. So my thing is, if you got a problem with another man, address the man. Don't address the business where he's speaking at. Don't address his friends, his family, his wife, or whatever. If I got a problem with a man, I'm going to address the man directly. It ain't going to be on no subliminal. It's going to be, hey, dog, I don't like what you said or what you did. We can talk about this. Or if I feel like it's an issue, we can resolve it. But they put us against each other. We don't put ourselves against each other. See what I'm saying? The Crips and the Bloods were not against each other in the beginning. Then they turned into a terrorist organization as described by the FBI and the CIA. See what I'm saying? But you don't see them putting the one percenters against the KKK. You don't see them putting the Holy Knights of America against the KKK, because that ain't what they want. They don't want white people to be against each other. You see what I'm saying? Because that was America was built on. America was built on white people being against each other so much that some of them just came and took over a whole nother country. Ran everybody out, told lies about how Black Friday was created, told lies about slavery, told lies about the indigenous people of America being Indian and not black. It's so much stuff that happens that when you start reading and get to the reality of what it is, you like, man, for a long time, when I was a kid, I used to think that you just had to go to school and learn what was in school and you were good. But when I grew up and I found out that, I ain't gonna say everything they taught you in school was a lie, but other than math and science, and even some of the scientific stuff they taught you is being debunked now. But other than mathematics and learning how to read, other than learning how to read and comprehend and mathematics, everything else is negotiable. Give me a second, y'all. What up, Sleepy? My fault, bro. I got a lot going on. I may have to end the show a little bit early, but it don't matter. Like I said, they want us to be against each other, bro. Like, they don't want those of us who know how to start a business to teach the other people how to start a business. They don't want those of us who know about firearm training and how to go out and get it and how to get a license, how to stay away from being a convicted felon. Then they don't want those of us who have been convicted that learn how to get your file locked so you can go and get a real job. They don't want that out there. You see what I'm saying? So my thing is, now that they don't want us, after we help solidify and build this country, and not only did we help build this country and solidify what this country is, we have fought for this country. Ever since Christmas Addicts, we have fought for this country. We have gave our blood, sweat, and tears to this country. And they say stuff like, if you don't like it here, go back to your country. Well, last time I checked, wasn't none of y'all from America. And I ain't taking it back. And I stand on it. Ain't none of y'all ancestors from America. Y'all took over a country. What you can't prove is that we not from here. Because you scared to tell the truth about slavery. You scared to tell the truth that Indians own slaves. You scared to tell the truth about the rich black aristocrats that own slaves. But you sit around and try to demonize us and our kids. So I'm gonna really get on here. What I may have to do is change the date of the podcast again. Now I do apologize, but due to COVID, that's why some of the shows I had to do couldn't be done, because I got kids, and sometimes I have to have them because my wife works at night. So that's why the shows was uninterrupted before, but now they get interrupted all the time because of the kids. But I'll be giving away 2 copies of this book, and I'm going to give you all the secret words starting next week. Okay? You're going to have to take those words And no, I'm gonna give you the words. They're gonna be a complete sentence. Okay. So when I give you the words and make that complete sentence, when I give it to you all, if you don't have an email, you need to come up with one. Cause I'm only taking contest winners through the email Shaka Zulu after dark at gmail.com. You have to send me an email with the full sentence in there the week before the 15th of December. I'm going to announce the winner the week of the 15th. I'm thinking about buying one of these books, another one of these, and giving away one of these. But I would rather everybody that wants to really hear a story about a brother that that changed who he was because he changed his whole outlook. Mama, hold on. He changed his whole outlook on life. I would rather you buy this book and support this brother. I know the brother personally, but if I didn't know him, I think I would have still bought this book because of the story. Now, next week, I may do a podcast explaining what may happen if Joe Biden, well, he's already president elect. So I'm gonna do a podcast. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it. Next week podcast is gonna be what may happen if the Democrats win the House. Well, they already won the House, but if they win the Senate in addition to the House, and they already got the presidential seat, and that is for black people, it could be a travesty. And I know y'all hate Donald Trump. I know y'all hate him. But the reality of it is you will lose what I consider to be the most important rights you have if Democrats win the Senate. And I have no problem. I don't care if he's a Democrat or a Republican. The people that he's trying to put in office and they're trying to help get in office are on the same thing he on. They're on the same thing he on. No freedom of speech, no rights to bear arms, and no rights to privacy. You need to understand and start researching these things before you go out here and put two Democrats in office as senators from America. Now, I mean from not from America, from Georgia. But I don't like Purdue. You know what I mean? I voted for Ossoff. And I think he'll be a better choice, and he's a more progressive person, and he's of the younger generation who want change. Now, I don't agree with everything he says, but I see the fact that he wants change. He's not stuck in that good old boy neighborhood type stuff. But even though I don't like Kelly, I don't agree with mixing politics and religion. You see what I'm saying? So the other brother that's running that is black, I would have rather him run against Purdue, and then I'd have voted for him, and then kick Ossoff to the curb. But Ossoff is progressive. Now, the only thing I can say about this brother is that he is a pastor, and he's a little bit older, and I don't know if he's as progressive as he needs to be. He may be locked into his olden ways too, like a lot of our mothers and grandmothers and grandfathers and fathers. And he may be with that go along to get along. You dig? And I don't know if I want somebody like that in office. And I definitely don't want the Democrats to hold all three powers, because I feel like they're going to have an issue with gun control and they're going to resolve it real fast. Because all they're going to do is outvote the Republicans and push it through. And ain't nobody can do about it but the Supreme Court. But we're going to talk about that next week. Again, Danny Dollar, I'm giving away 2 of these books. You have to watch the show. You have to get the words that I'm going to give you that are going to make a complete sentence. Not just one word, so you can't just look at one show. So from today up until the week before the 15th, I'm going to be giving you words. I'm going to come up with the sentence, and I'm going to be giving you those words throughout the show. If you're local and I personally know you, I will meet you or come to your house to give you this book. If you're not local and you follow me and I don't personally know you, I will pay for shipping to ship this book to you. That's what it is. I think every kid in America needs this book. Every kid. But until next week, I love all you, man. I'm happy you all support the show. Go to the YouTube, Zulu After Dark podcast. Subscribe and like. Right now, I'm doing all the editing of all these videos to move them over to YouTube by myself. I don't have nobody helping. I'm not hiring a team to do this because I already do this. But it's taking me some time to do it because I still work a regular job. I still have kids, and I still plan all these shows and do all of this. So with that being said, by the end of December, all the shows that I have now are going to be on YouTube. And the goal is to change around my podcast studio so it'll be more private and closed in. And I'm working on getting some cameras so I can have different angles and stuff like that. That's what I'm working on. That way I can move from Instagram straight to YouTube. But I will also, I probably keep some of the shows on Instagram, just, you know what I mean? But I'm going to be going, I'm working on, my goal is to get 1,000 followers on YouTube. That way I can go live on YouTube because I can do longer shows. I can have more in-depth conversations. Because Instagram only give me an hour. And I can restart it, but I'm not going to keep restarting to have 1 or 2 hour shows. I'd rather do an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours on YouTube. And then I can cut the show and chop it up and start just posting that on Instagram, like the cut up, chopped up part of the show and stuff. So until next week, y'all already know the show topic for next week. You can do your homework. You can do your research because I'm going to be talking dirty about them next week. And I'm going to be giving it to y'all the dirty way. I might get kicked off of Instagram next week. Who knows? But I appreciate everybody joining. Until next time, I'm out. Thank you. Love you. Welcome to the page for the new people. Welcome to the podcast for the new people, for the old people. Y'all know what it is. I'll see y'all next time.